I am. I know I'm gonna have it upstairs. Just lay down. Go to sleep. Thank you. Lorraine out of town, so he got all the conversations and questions.
You it's just you and him at the crib?
Yeah, she'll be back like midnight. But
he got the iPad, or he that disciplined to just lay down?
Oh no, I don't play that. No, he ain't do that. Man, he ain't do the iPad since Sunday. Like, cause she been gone. She left Monday.
Savage.
And I got this motherfucker taking a 1 mile walk every day after school. Everything. I ain't playing with him, man. Like, we've taken a 1 mile walk after school, or for the last 4 days. Because on the weekends he got to do some type of physical activity before he gets any screen time. So I just carried that into the week, and now we just do the walks. So
make sure we good, fellas.
Are we live?
Yeah, we live now. We got four people in here right now. Mia, what's happening? Can y'all see the comments in the chat?
Yeah, see Mia. What's good, Mia?
I'm just trying to get it right for our All Black Men Need Therapy Instagram page.
Yeah, also too, Chief, I'm in here under your thing, so I was hoping that didn't matter. Like, instead of being like a guest, like I'm signed in like you.
No, it's all good. I don't think that matters, player, but
okay.
P, you good?
Yeah, that hat dope. Prentice, I like that.
What?
I said the hat is dope.
Oh, thanks, man. I paid $10 for this shit.
Word.
Yo. What's up?
That's official.
Go ahead.
Copy.
I thought you was just showing us the hat. You was looking behind you.
No, I'm fucking Sarai and shit.
Oh, what's good, Sarai?
Hi.
You making an appearance on the live or no?
Oh wait, you guys are live?
Mm-hmm.
Hell no, I look crazy as hell right here.
Hey Frank, what's up, good brother?
Yeah, because I'm nosy.
Yeah.
And I have comments on the topic.
Yeah.
Comments on what topic?
This one, I'll take. So, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do less talking today, because I'll talk about like the space I'm in. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do more listening, less talking. And then I opened up the treatment, and she was like, "Oh hell no, you about to talk your ass off."
We about to get it going, baby. Here we go. My people, thank y'all for tapping in. What up, though? We live for real with an episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. This should be a good one, y'all. We haven't been live in a while, so we appreciate y'all here tapping in with us. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Do us a favor and tag somebody right now in the comments. Share it on your feed or whatever. Let's get this room filled out, man. For sure.
We ain't even get nobody. Did we post on Instagram that we was going live?
They'll see it. They on. They'll see it. It's too late now.
No, it is too late now. I was just curious.
Yeah, we in here. But this is what we gonna do. One of y'all, who's did the timeline change for the voice line yet? Is somebody up? I think.
Yeah, I think it shifted. It's
I'm still responding though, so
yeah, I think it shifted. I gotta look at the SOP, but I think it shifted.
All right. Nevertheless, fellas, how you been? How you living? How you feeling? What's good? Check in.
You go first this time. You never go first.
I know, because that ain't
you went first last week, though.
I did go first last week because I was going through
some stuff going on.
So I'm gonna hold on. I go second. Bellhead, check in, baby. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Things are starting to come together for me, which I'm appreciating. I'm just banging out books, man. Shout out to Karan Butler, man. I just read his book last night. I finished that joint today. It's called Tough Juice. It's an ill story. Should be a movie. But it's a real good story. And And it's weird, man, because me and Karan came in the same time, and you know, it's all part of the journey. But dude, I when I got to UConn, man, I had such a chip on my shoulder, and it's ill because it was set up for me and Karan to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like for us to be friends, like for us to, you know, both athletes. But I never took like the invites. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he was like, yo, but I want to be your friend. It wasn't nothing like that, but it was always set up for us to be cool. I just never took advantage of the opportunities because I had an ill again. I was angry. Like I can openly admit I was angry in high school. And I think a part of it was we stunk as a football team when I got there, and they were obviously, you know, coming off a national championship in '99, I believe. So it was I don't know. But anyway, really good book. Shout out to that brother, man. You talking about pull yourself up by your bootstraps story. It was ill. But so I've been on my reading. I've been real heavy into reading. I'm only 2 days in, but focusing on my water, getting my water intake. I had my physical a couple weeks ago, and this is the second year in a row that my I don't know, whoever my medical professionals are, tell me if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's like creatine levels or something like that. It's like I'm on the high side of normal. So as my doctor's like, you just gotta drink more water. You're not drinking enough water. And I know I don't drink enough water. So, but I've been on my 100+ ounces last 2 days, hit the gym last 2 days. I'm good, man. I'm good. I got a plan. It's coming together. I'm looking forward to executing it, but I'm in a good spot.
You sure? Because your energy was a little funny the other day when we was on the phone.
When was we even on the phone?
Well, we spoke briefly on Monday just about the thing going on. Yeah, you had a different tone about you. I was letting you live, right? You was like, yeah, I'm about to get at this work stuff. It was early in the morning.
I was in the office. That's why. I'm good. Honest to God. Nothing going on with me. I'm in a good spot.
All right. Your boy been doing some yoga.
Nice.
Oh, word.
Yeah, been doing some.
He inspired you?
Nah. So I was
Right. It's like, yes, I did.
running around with these kids the other day, and just like my back tightened up, and I'm like, yo, you don't stretch enough. Like you need to chill out. So I pulled up one of them P90X yoga videos. I remember doing that joint years ago, and I remember it was like one of the toughest workouts I had ever been through. It was just I was sweating like it was
X though. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like I was sweating like, you know what I mean, game 7 triple overtime. Like it was rough on your boy, but it just feels like I feel better in that regard. Like it just like body feels better, you know what I'm saying? So that was
It's funny
good.
because I actually told Bree about the stretch you told me to do when I was having back issues with the whole like laying on the floor, putting your legs up against the wall. That was real good. Like that was.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of that too. Yeah.
That's the good thing about running too, man. When you start running more, you're gonna stretch more.
Right. And so that was a thing I've been doing. I've been on these lives with like the Recording Academy is trying to tap in the network, and I've made some pretty cool connections or whatever. So I'm hoping, it works out and turns in my favor.
It will.
Everything is up now, man. It's just I want to apologize to y'all though, because I haven't been on my grind in terms of this event we have coming up, because I've been so locked in on this album. But now that it's up, like it's changed for me a little bit. So I'm putting it ain't too little too late, but you know what I'm saying? So but we gonna be all right. Outside of that, man, everything is good. I really have no complaints, man. That situation ended up turning over for the better, by the way. Just be a little patient, don't start no trouble.
From last week?
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it.
Be a little patient and just like, avoid the tension, and it came through. But again, so I'm just in that struggle now where I feel like because I'm doing what I can to avoid tension, I question whether or not I'm enabling behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I would question like why you avoid like not tension, but like what how can we make this like an inclusive conversation?
And I've said those exact words. Like, what do we need to do to to come to an understanding? How can I best help you understand where my standpoint in this and the baby standpoint and yada yada yada? And
Was that what worked or just time worked?
I think it was just time, and I don't know, maybe conversations with other folks, but even the message I got was condescending in a sense, but it was still like, okay, well, at least we're good in this area because baby girl gets to do what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I'll say this to add to it though. Don't be too hard on yourself, because sometimes it's just about being results driven, right? Like sometimes it's not about enabling. Sometimes it's about like, what is the overall goal? The goal was accomplished, and also your initial reply was very just boom, 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 boom. You remember that? Like what you responded with was like, yo, this is what I'm about to do. This is what I'm about to do. Boom, and you left it alone. You know what I'm saying? So I think you got to give yourself credit for responding like matter of factly with no extra nothing, letting it sit, and boom, you got the results. Everything is okay. So I don't think this is one of them situations where necessarily like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to question if you're enabling, because your response and the way you handle it ended up getting the results you wanted. And you didn't necessarily bite your tongue. You just took an approach that was just matter of fact, and that shit worked. You know what I mean?
I guess so. I can't, again, I don't know the catalyst behind what worked and what didn't work. I just know my baby ain't, don't got to experience
Hey
that.
man,
So I ain't tripping.
co-parenting therapy, man. Like,
Yeah, man. I think that
let's
shit
try
work.
it out.
Yeah, that shit work, man. Good job.
I've been in like this weird, I don't know. It's a different type of energy I'm carrying, and specifically with you two niggas, and I can't really figure out why.
What I do?
They didn't do anything per se, but I don't know. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe we just haven't talked as often, or I'm not sure. But like,
That why you didn't call me when you came to Boston the other day?
no, I just didn't. I mean, I was trying to go just do what I had to do and then get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't it. But
So I said retrograde.
but I don't know. Which is why I kind of remember the treatment I put with difficult conversations or whatever. And I don't know where it's at, but I think we'll all be able to flush it all out once we have a conversation.
You didn't want to talk about that before we got live?
No, I mean, but
Man,
so
I got to sleep at your
I didn't
house
know-
on Thursday. We need to have
I didn't
some
know we
shit
had
out.
smoke, man.
it ain't no smoke. Maybe again, I think it could be just me. Maybe I'm just too fucking sensitive. Maybe that's my problem.
Maybe y'all are PMSing and synced up. Maybe.
But don't listen to her. She's going to chime in every 3
Yeah.
minutes.
So
Wait, Prentice, you get here on Thursday or Friday?
Friday, my bad. I get in Boston at 6:30
a.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, we here now, bro. If you got something, like what my man
I
Pot
can't.
said, man. If something on your mind, let it off.
No,
You know
I
what
don't.
I'm
It
saying?
ain't. I don't have the words to articulate it because I'm still self-reflecting. I'm still digging in me. You know what I'm saying? So once I figure that out, I mean, I ain't never been opposed to holding nothing like from y'all. You know what I mean? So I never been comfortable holding nothing from y'all.
Well, maybe
But,
this treatment help get it out, flush it out. Well, Prentice didn't even give his check-in yet.
B,
I'll make my shit quick.
check in, B. How you living?
I did my first full so I'm practicing to test out for the Pilates before I make like a public announcement. So I did my first full 50-minute class with Sarai yesterday, man.
So like co-instructors?
No. Well, she's the manager. She's her own instructor, but I have to practice. Like there's steps in teaching the course. So she was basically like my first test dummy for a full length class.
I got you.
So that was cool, but it was hella rewarding. Like I got to tell her what to do. She didn't like that shit. She was struggling. Like that shit was cool, but like it felt like therapy in a way, but like she You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, you can't be no punk. You know what I'm saying? Like she had to do that shit, but she didn't want to do that shit. Like she wanted to be like regular her with me, like not listening shit, but she couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So that
Instead
shit.
of a regular her.
Yeah, she wanted to be regular her, but she was in class and she likes to work out and likes to do that shit. So I got through that, which was cool. So I'm feeling more comfortable with that. Um, and things are just lining up right now. Like I'm doing a lot of research.
Hey, hold
Huh?
on, man. I got to shout out my guy Stu. Stu has chimed in live. We appreciate you, Stu.
Hey Stu, I listened to the episode the other day, man. You guys are on to something, B. I definitely tapped into it.
Definitely. Shout out to Stu.
I don't know
My
you,
bad,
Stu, but what's
friends.
up, man? Appreciate you, bro.
He knows you.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were doing the Pilates, but things are lining up, man. I'm doing a lot of studying. I really think things are changing for me mentally. I'm really just focused on being the desired version of myself, man. Like really, really, really focus on being the desired version of myself, meaning I have a lot of conversations with myself all the time. And now I'm coming across a lot of material that's validating the conversations I have with myself. And so I'm realizing that, you know, like I could have all the conversations in the world with myself, but it's me talking to me. So when I get this information from somewhere else and it reaffirms what I'm already thinking, it helps, man. So I'm really trying to work on being less talkative and giving myself grace when I respond. Not speaking so quickly to confirm that my thoughts are what I want to say, rather than having to retract or stand on what initially came out of my mouth before I spoke. Um, but I really have a feeling that if I continue with where I'm at, you guys and everybody else that I love around me will see some significant changes. You know what I mean? Like in a really natural, good way, not in like a forced way. But I just feel like I may have found what works for me.
Dope.
So
That's dope. That's real dope.
yeah, that's about it, man. And then I'm really conscious about, you know, like what you just said, Chief. I thought our conversation last week when you called me about what I didn't do, which you was right. Um, I'm really focused on like my friendships right now. Like I got to be a better friend, man. I gotta stop crawling into my shell and not reaching out to people and only waiting when something's wrong and get back to showing the people that I care about the most that I'm here. You know what I mean? And I don't do that. I wait until something's wrong and then I show love and I show support. Or when something motivates me, like your Grammy shit, you know what I mean? Like that shit motivates me. So I'm gonna be like, all right, blood, what you doing? But I got to be more consistent with my friendship, and I realize that I'm not as consistent as a friend or yeah, like consistent as a friend to a lot of people, man. I'm a good one, but I'm not as consistent. I can be better. So those are my check-ins, man. Kids started school. Um, I did a lot of processing with that whole like imposter syndrome shit, and I realized that it was a lot deeper, not from an imposter syndrome space, but just the frequencies that I was putting out and the energy that I've been giving it out and how I perceive life. So I'm trying to change all that.
Yeah, man,
Nah, that's what's up.
all that shit's internal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like all that shit's internal.
Yep.
definitely. And let me double back real quick to Stu if he's still here, yo. So when I was listening to his joint bell, I'm sitting there and it's wild because not wild, but like three white dudes and they're having conversations that we have. You know what I'm saying? And not that I'm oblivious to them going through the same problems that we have. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's kind of like damn, they struggling with the same shit we struggling with. like
Yeah,
men
man.
in general, we all holding under that same burden and whatnot, man. And so it's just kind of refreshing to kind of I don't
Shit,
know.
we not alone.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
And I think like it was crazy. Like I equated back to my brother's situation, but like it was weird to me that one thing that pulled me out of that thing was like learning that I wasn't alone.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like we often feel like it's black problems that we going through. No, it's men problems. You know what I'm saying? Or it's it's world problems or whatever. But it was kind of like refreshing to kind of just hear that even people who Stu's successful, doing what he's supposed to do, chasing his dreams, living his dreams, and still dealing with some of the bullshit we dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I would argue we need to collaborate. Don't threaten us with a good time, Stu. Don't threaten us with a good time. Yeah, vulnerability creates community. Absolutely. Like I got that saying from him. And it's 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 all about where we are in our journey. Like we all are on a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a matter of what stage in that journey we're in. Like I know exactly where you are right now, Prentice. You know what I'm saying? And I could see some of the roadblocks that you're facing, but until you see them, it doesn't matter what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell you till I'm blue in the face, hey, if you do this, you'll be good. But that don't mean shit. Like you got to see it. And it sounds like you are, and it sounds like you are gravitating towards something that is literally breathing life into you. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make these changes for the better, for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? So like like I said, man, satisfied needs don't motivate. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are striving to do something and that you don't have, it's going to motivate you. When you feel like you got it figured out, or you feel like whatever, you're not going to be motivated to do anything different. So that's where you are. Like you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So it's starting to reveal all these things. Like, yo, I said there's two things in my life that I've done that reveals true character. True character. One is playing Division I football, and two is working in a results driven company. Right? Like football, the eye in the sky don't lie. Right, Chief? I know you've heard that 1,000 times. The eye in the sky don't lie. If you soft, it's going to show up. If you hard, it's going to show up. If you lazy, it's going to show up. You're going to see it on film. And when you work for a revenue driven company that your job is to produce, that scoreboard don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say whatever the hell you want to say, but if you ain't putting up that number, it's saying something about you, regardless of what. You know what I'm saying? So now you're in a position now, Prentice, where you have deadlines, you have goals to hit, right? You have to be ready by a certain time. You have to do practice, right? To get right. Is bringing something different into you, because now it's not just you. We as humans, more often than not, potentially could let ourselves down before we let somebody else down. Like we'll defer our goals, we'll defer our dreams. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody that's tied to you, that's something that you want to do or want to achieve, you don't want to let them down. Like you don't want to let Sarai down with this Pilates. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to let her manager, her boss down because he gave you a shot. Right. So there's so many levels to that. So now you have a different motivation. Whereas if it was just Prentice, you're like, y'all can get to that tomorrow. Like it ain't no big deal. I ain't got shit else to do tomorrow, right? Or whatever we tell ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's all, man. That's all. But anyway, because before we make this an episode, let's actually get into the episode, right? Chief, what are you doing? Yo, you look preoccupied, man. You're not a good multitasker.
He making that flyer pop up on the screen.
Hey, I'm trying to get the flyer popping up. Chill out, cuz.
Oh, I don't see anything on the screen. Oh, that's probably because
I didn't see it pop up.
I saw it pop up. It kept coming on and off.
So while he's doing that, listen up, folks. We have our first ABMNT production going off on Saturday. We have a live taping. You will meet us in the flesh. If you are in the tri-state area, please join us in a live taping from 4 to 6 on Saturday, August 24th, followed by a quick mixer and then into a live poetry showcase with the likes of Prentice, Eugene Powell, Michael Germain, Chief Peterson. We have a number of other special guests. More people are coming. I just found out we got more poets showing up, which is awesome. So even more than that's on the flyer. But yes, live taping 4 to 6, Saturday, August 24th. Poetry showcase from 7 to 10. It will be an event. We want to continue to do it. It is being held at the Manchester Country Club in Manchester, Connecticut. Go to abmnt.com for all information. But yes, we are doing our first production this Saturday. We're looking forward to it. I am going to be there in the flesh. I may even jump on the poetry stage. Just relax, everybody. I'm not saying I write for Chief. I'm just saying when I get on there, It's gonna sound real familiar. That's what I'm saying. You know, y'all read between the lines. However, y'all want to do that. But anyway. So today, man, it's this. So I'm on this journey, right? This personal journey, and I may or may not share at some point. I'm on this personal journey, and I'm really, and again, like I said, like 2 or 3 episodes ago, Chief inspired me with the work I saw him doing, and I realized that there's more work I need to do. I mean, there's always work I need to do, but specifically aligned to some things that I want to impact and some purpose projects. So I'm digging in my purpose project right now. And y'all know Wallow 267. And he is like, if you can't get inspired by him and his story, you know, there might be something wrong with you. But I've been listening intently to when he talks, because, and just for those who don't know, Wallow is a half of $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. That's Wallow and Gillian King. And Wallow did 20 years in prison for armed robbery. And he did 20 years in prison, came out and essentially documented his story.
Whole journey, yeah.
The whole journey. Like he documented his, like the dude was selling t-shirts, like literally in his grandmother's spare bedroom, like literally just got out of prison. Man, that dude is worth millions right now. He was on a podcast the other day and somebody was talking in the background. He jumped up and he was like, yo, man, like basically pipe down. He's like, y'all got me on here. Like I get $80,000 an hour to speak. And y'all not taking advantage of this right now. I'm basically, it's like I'm doing this on the love and y'all not respecting my time. And I'm like, 80,000 an hour to speak. Like this man did 20 years in prison. And his story is so impactful. So anyway, he did an 8-minute TED Talk. It was his first TED Talk that I was searching for that one because he had said, he doesn't matter what he said. I wanted to find that TED Talk. So anyway, that TED Talk, he opened up by something to the effect of saying, I forgave my brother's killer. His brother was murdered while he's in prison. And he forgave him. And it doesn't sound like the dude ever got caught. But it sounds like he knows who it is, and he forgave him. So it got me to thinking. So the title of this episode, whether we keep it or not, I put Stand on Business, right? And I got to thinking about grudges. Listen, you are looking at a dude who up until maybe 5, 6, 7 years, I'm 42. So up until maybe 5, 6 years ago, I had a knockout on sight list. Like that's the type of grudges I was holding. Meaning, like if I saw this individual who's named on this list, I'm knocking them out. Like that was on sight. That was the type of time I was on. And those grudges I was holding was crazy. And I recently learned to release a lot of that stuff, all of it, right? I don't hold any grudges against anybody right now. But anyway, it got me to thinking. So again, we're live, but typically on a regular episode. So the definition of grudge is, first of all, it's a noun, and it's a persistent feeling of ill will or resentment resulting from a past insult or injury. She held a grudge against her former boss. And I got to thinking about that. Like I know Chief is worse than me with holding grudges. Like I remember somebody stepped on his shoe one time. And he never spoke to her again. Like literally, like that's a true story. Never spoke to her again. And
that's hella funny to me.
But I was thinking about this when you put that, and I'm like, what other grudges do I hold? But let me tell the quick sneaker story real quick. June 17th, 1998.
Nigga, you know the date?
It's graduation.
You see what I'm saying?
Yo, I got the fresh pair of J's on, bro. Brand new pair for graduation. I'm live. We go to graduation rehearsal. I walk in. Shorty sees me and goes, "Those are nice," and just steps on my sneaker.
Oh no, that's a problem. I thought,
but fam, she was like, "Those are nice," and just stepped on them. The black and green 13s, I think they were. 14s. 14s.
No, it wasn't 13s, yeah.
They were suede. They had the lime green joint. Everywhere. She stepped on them, and I'm just like, "Yo, why would you do that?"
Nah.
And P, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I don't think I spoke to her till like 2019.
Understood. I understand that one.
But But anyway, we're all guilty. Like this is not a chief thing. Like we are all guilty of holding grudges, man. Like I said, that knockout on sight list was so real to me, you know, and it's just like, why, bro? Like, why am I doing that? And that obviously wasn't the only grudge. I've held grudges against women, stuff like that. Like anybody, again, per the definition, anyone who's caused ill will towards me, you know, I've held grudges against bosses. Like I've done a lot of things, but what I've realized is, man, when you can let it go, it is so freeing. But before we get to how we let it go, if we let it go, like I want to ask you, brothers, and I'll answer too some questions. So, what would you deem, Prentice, as a good reason for somebody to hold a grudge outside of physical harm? Because I get that. Like I get that. Not saying I agree, but I get it.
So when I read this question, man, it was hard because again, I said I was gonna do less talking and more listening.
I wrote this treatment for you, brother. Like
I be hating this shit sometimes, but like it automatically brought me back to when you said that I need a bad guy. It automatically brought me back to that, right? Um, what do I think is a valid reason? Like outside of physical?
an example, yeah, if you have one.
I got a perfect example, man. When I did Good Father on Arsenio Hall, and then Justice Mama got mad and went to the courts and said I never raised him a day in my life, and I got put in arrears for $28,000, and she wouldn't tell him that I didn't owe the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that fucked up my life for like 9 years. Like they tried to take the money out of selling a home. Like I couldn't. I got my passport revoked at the airport. Got arrested trying to go to the Bahamas.
I remember.
Yeah, bro. Like that was a tough time, man. And I definitely held a grudge when I found out that she was leaving them in Florida and going to fuck on some nigga in New York for days at a time. That Yeah, I hold a grudge about that because it has to do with my baby. So I would say like things for me that have a long-term effect on things that seem calculated. I have a problem with that. Like I have a problem when somebody goes out of their way to long-term fuck with you. You get what I'm saying? Like not just like in a moment like you do something, but something that has a long-term effect that can even be mended. You know what I mean? I think it's one thing to do something to somebody, and I think it's another thing to do something that has a long-term effect and to be okay with knowing that that person continues to suffer as a result of your actions. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things are the things that I find when I think about people in my life. My list is gonna be long. You stupid, right? When I think of like people who have done me the dirtiest and are okay with it, continue to have a negative impact on my life, but then again, I'm the type of person where, man, I hold grudges and I'm vindictive, man. I'm gonna get you back 15, 20 years later. We got a neighbor that I thought about when I drove past our old house that we lived at 3 years ago, and I still want to go spray paint his camera on the garage because he was acting like a little bitch when he was our neighbor. So I know I have a problem with grudges, man. But on a real note, I think the ones that have effects on not just you but people around you and people you care about, I really don't think those are cool.
Well, Sarai just said if your food order is wrong, you holding a grudge.
Bro,
So
I have a genuine problem. Like for real, for real. I will remember some shit that other people find, and I don't find any of my grudges petty. Like all my shit is valid to me. You know what I mean? Like, so when I read the treatment, I told Sarah, I was like, well, I'm not the one to hold on to petty grudges. She's like, nigga, please. But I feel like everything I hold a grudge about is valid, and I don't give a fuck.
but it's valid to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's valid to you, and there's something to be said about that, which is a whole nother conversation. But I will say I 1,000,000% agree with you. If you said one word that triggered me, not triggered me, but like a light bulb went off. If someone's calculated on my demise, listen, man.
I got a problem with that.
Now I'll be honest. I won't go into detail. I'll give my answer. Then Chief, you can give yours. But there was something attempted to be done to me that was as calculated as it comes, like calculated as it comes, and it could have put people in. Put it this way, people could have lost their lives in the process. You know what I'm saying? And it was by the grace of God that it didn't go off according to plan. And I it's weird because I held that grudge for a little bit, you know, like a good amount of time, but I eventually let it go. Like I eventually let it go. I eventually chalked it up to, well, it didn't happen, so I'm gonna let it go. Like nobody was hurt. Nothing came from it. Now it was an attempt, but nothing came from it. So I let it go. And that was calculated. Like my man Big said, plotting on my downfall. You know what I'm saying? Like that was calculated. And I let that go. So I think my rationale sometimes is if I can let that go and you didn't cause physical harm, that's a different story. Physical harm is a different story. Physical harm to me or somebody I love, that's a different story. Like I'm not at that level of maturity yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not there. Like you cause physical harm to me or somebody I love. Like I'll give you a perfect example. I caught up with my man the other day. Shout out to my man D. And I hadn't talked to him in a while. And I had a problem with somebody a while ago. I don't know, probably like 15 years ago at this point. He wasn't there that night. And I didn't know this, but D held the grudge against him, the dude I had a problem with. So while he's at his son's basketball game, he almost purposely gets into it with the dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, well, where'd that come from? He's like, well, he was doing this. He's like, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I never got over that whole situation with you and him. I'm like, D, that was like 15 years ago, bro. 20 years ago at this point, probably, yeah, like 15, 18 years ago. He's like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So certain people, they won't let things go, you know, and certain people have to get their look back. You know what I'm saying? And I was like that for a long time, but I'm dragging it. Chief, good reason outside of physical harm to hold a grudge against somebody. Or a better question is, have you, well, we know, well, I guess the Jordans could be physical harm. I
don't. So I think we've had millions of conversations about my feelings about my friends and so on and so forth, right? So I think mine is just momentary grudges, and then it's let go because I don't really give a fuck. Like, you not my friend.
I think you do more than you say, though.
In that moment, I can't think of. I'm trying to think right now if I'm holding on to something. I mean, I guess it's the same. Like, nah, I just don't like him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't really.
No, you know what's interesting? You're the type of person that gets worked up in the moment, and then you do forget about it. You do, but you still know that you don't like this person. But you can, for the life of you, can't remember why.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you do. Like,
that's fair.
You're like, I don't talk to her, but I don't know why I don't talk to her. Like, yeah, I ain't, like that's you. You do that.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. There's a couple people who like, I'll say what's up, but like it's something, yeah, you don't know. I'm not inviting them to the party type shit.
Yeah. This is a dope question that's similar to one of the questions you had, Bell, in the treatment.
Yeah.
It says, where do you guys think the line is drawn between holding a legit grudge and just being petty? Because most folks teeter on the fence of both.
I think we find fun in petty though. Like there's humor in petty.
Petty is definitely fun. Petty is definitely fun. I am not going to take that away from you. Petty is definitely fun.
Ain't no such thing as petty with my grudges.
Yeah, Prentice, like, look, man, they all the same to me. Like, there's no difference.
All of them.
Call it petty, call it a grudge, call it whatever you want to call it. It's happening.
Quick plug again. This Saturday, y'all, we have our first ABMNT production coming up, man. Tell a friend, share the flyer from our page. We need to get the room filled out with people, man. In Manchester, Connecticut, go to abmnt.com for more information. We're gonna plug it again a couple more times, but I want to put it in there now. Share this stream with somebody, get them to jump on. Get them to jump on, and let's continue having a conversation.
There's another question in the chat. How about money issues? Someone borrows money from you and doesn't pay it back. I'll answer that after. How do y'all feel about that?
I ain't never really had paper to give niggas, man. To tell you the truth, so I'm not even being funny. You know, like I've never had enough paper that I gave somebody that was like I sweated getting back. You know what I mean? Like I just never was in that position. So I don't have those type of. I don't have financial grudges with niggas because I never had it to give.
I'm like this. Like, one, because I know me. Like, I'm pretty giving, and if I give you something, and you say I'm gonna have it back on this day, and then you don't have it back on that day, and then you don't communicate,
right?
That's when it becomes an issue for me. But if you're like, yo, cheap, I gotta pay you back 2 weeks, I'm like, I got you, no problem. Like, I'm not really like tripping because I gave it to you because I had it, and if I needed it, I've rarely asked people for money back in the time. Like, they know they owe me, they'll give it to me when they get it to me. I'm not really tripping about it. But like when you don't give it to me when you say you're going to, then it's kind of like, okay.
Yo,
no.
I remember one time you had let me hold some money back in the day. It was like 3 racks or something like that. It was like two grand, 3 racks, something like that. I can't remember. I remember you getting tight because I didn't pay you back yet. But I bought a car.
Oh shit. Think about a car on you.
But I told you though. I called you. I'm like, yo. I'm like, I got your money yet. But I'm about to pull up with this brand new car that I paid cash for.
I don't remember that, but
like, come on, nigga, I'll take you for a ride. Hop in.
It was the Impala when I bought the Impala on the 24s. Oh man, but I paid you back like the next day or something like that.
But, but I'm the king of like, let me hold this. Like, I need another week, bro. Give me 2. Matter of fact, like I'll be trying to make shit work.
You know what you're the king of? If I let you hold something, and you be like, say you were gonna pay me on Friday. It's Wednesday. You're like, I forget about y'all. I got you on Friday. And if I say, oh no, I ain't worried about it. That to you means okay. I got another week.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
but I'm all paid up now. I don't got no more debts.
Oh, no, you good, brother. You good. Man.
We appreciate y'all asking questions, man. Because these questions are good. Lorenz has a question. He says, "Can you hold a grudge without wanting to get a person back? Like, I'm just not messing with you because of what you did to me."
Yes, I think it's about.
I don't think that's a grudge, but go ahead.
No, so one, if, like as it pertains to money in that regard, probably not. Like, I'm not gonna rock with you until you pay me my bread, then we can stop talking.
My bad, I got juice. I just saw a comment, Jay in the Bay, the brother in Alamo when I blew the tire in the Benz. My bad, Jay. What's up, bro? We got.
Oh, you were stuck on the side of the road.
Yeah, when I blew the tire.
You owe Jay some money?
No, but go ahead. My bad.
No. So I think that like I said, with me in particular, like I got my crew, so it's like I'm okay with someone on the periphery doing some foul shit and me just not talking to him no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't. The reason why I said I don't think that's a grudge, like I look at that as a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like, okay, I can't, whatever the scenario, I can't rock with you on that level. So that's cut. Like money's a good example. Like if you let somebody borrow some money, you let your cousin, you're not going to cut your cousin off or your brother off or sister off or something like that, but you'll never let them borrow money again. And you still may hold the grudge
too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I feel like for me, like I cannot speak with you anymore because you did something because I want to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? But I still got a grudge. You know what I mean? So in order for me not to like get into nothing further than what it is, I'm just not gonna fuck with you no more. But I still feel a way about you. You get what I'm saying? So I feel
I
like
know
it's a
exactly
form
what
of
you're
a
saying,
grudge.
and I'm thinking to myself, like, how does that show up in my life? And I know it does. I just can't think of any examples right now.
I think I'm like that. I think that's a great question. Like I can have a grudge and not give a get back, but like I don't like you no more, or I really don't like you. So I'm just not gonna talk to you because of how I feel about you, and that feeling's not gonna go away. Like I'm always not gonna
See,
like
you know why you know why I'm struggling with that, Prentice? Because it's like I almost like accept it. And that to me is less burden to carry.
you.
Like
It definitely is less, yeah. Like
like
accepting what is rather than harnessing the emotion.
I got a extremely close friend. Like we're family, right? Like, and I did something from a long time ago, and he never got right. And when I talk, when he's back, you know, on his feet and stuff like that, and when we talk, he's like, Cuddy, I ain't forget about you. I ain't forget. I'm like, yo, if you do, great, but I've dismissed that from my mind because this is for me, dude. When I hold on to that shit, like it's not healthy for me. Like it's not healthy. Like I'm not functioning at an optimal level when I
Yeah.
hold on to that stuff because then it's like when I'm getting vindictive, watch out, right? Like when I start plotting, I'm gonna get away with it, right? And you're not gonna see it coming. Like that's so when I get into that space, I it's not healthy for me. So
Yeah, they might as well be
I
on a
can
knockout on sight list if that's the case.
yeah, like I can separate the two. For people I hold in high regard. Only people I hold in high regard, I can separate the two. And then the counter argument to that would be, well, if they held you in the same regard, they wouldn't have done that to you, right?
Mhm.
That's an argument that can be made, but there's something about circumstances. You know what I'm
True.
saying? And we all find ourselves in different circumstances in different times of our lives, which potentially can cause us to do things that we wouldn't have otherwise done if the circumstances would remain the same. So people I love and people I genuinely care about, they get a lot of grace. They may not, you know, like another good example, my first multifamily, I evicted my whole building. And one of them was my first cousin. And I held that grudge for a long time. Like, but then I finally let it go. And I love them to death. I'm never going to rent to them again,
Mhm.
but I love them to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would do anything for them. So if I don't separate, it's not healthy for me. So
Mhm.
that's why I have to separate. Like, I have to say, you know what, I forgive you and rock out. Again, not in that capacity. You'll never see me show up for you in that capacity again. But I
Mhm.
forgive you. You know what I'm saying? And I can maintain and continue our relationship in whatever degree it was in, minus that setback, whatever that setback was. I don't even remember what question we're answering at this point. Oh, petty and
It
grudge,
was
maybe.
I think it was what I said to Lorenz about can you hold a grudge without wanting to get a person back? Like just not mess with them anymore.
Yeah, that's. What about you,
Y'all,
Chief? Do you?
I don't know if y'all revenge type of cats though. I don't think I'm a
Yeah.
revenge type of. I don't think I'm a revenge type of cat. Like I'm real. Like okay, my revenge is like I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, nah.
I'm
I
more
like
that than. Go ahead, Prince.
no. You go ahead, Bill.
Go.
I spend time thinking about my get back. You know, like I don't know how much I executed. You know, like I don't know how much it really go. I don't. And honestly, I don't even think it really goes into practice. Maybe the satisfaction is like
Is the
the
plan?
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like maybe the satisfaction for me that completes it is the fact that I'll invest time. Like, yeah, nigga, remember that shit you did in 8th grade? Like, yeah, like if I see
Like
you,
you don't even know
right? You don't
what I
even
just
know.
did to you. Right.
I think that's more so my get back rather than executing it, because I ain't got time to be getting back at niggas. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so you almost there. Like you almost there. Like you're gonna plan it out, but not follow through. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I
Like,
ain't go
hey,
follow through because I ain't got
you
time to
almost
do
there.
shit.
So I want to get to this question, or not question, comment. So Liberty Twitcher said, forgiveness is one of the most difficult things we can do, but also probably the most important aspect of being human. So this is a very good. Thank you for that, because I highly recommend you guys go watch Wallow's TEDx in Buckhead. It's like 7 minutes and 57 seconds, or 8 minutes and 57 seconds. It's under 9 minutes, whatever it is. But what he said was, he's like, anytime we find ourselves in a jam, we ask God to forgive us, right? God, if you let me get through this, I promise I won't do this again, or I won't do this again. God, please forgive me for this. And we always asking God, but we're the last ones to forgive somebody else. But we're always asking for forgiveness. That's what he said on the thing. And that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, wow, I never put two and two together, but it's true. We're asking for, what he said was, we're asking for something that we're not even willing to give.
Mm-hmm.
And that was deep.
Yo, I've seen that several times. And now that I think about it, like kind of in line with my previous statement, though, like I don't know. First of all, I know forgiveness is something that's you know, it takes a while for me to get there. But I'm thinking about it now, and it's kind of like for certain individuals who I have to forgive, even like I don't even know if like I have to forgive them obviously for me. But like I feel like if I have to forgive you, I don't even want you in my life no more.
They don't have to be.
That's what I'm saying. But like at this point, I'm just like, if someone needs my forgiveness in order for me to coexist in the same space with them, I don't know if I want to be in that space.
Nah, it's
Question.
not.
Let me throw a wrench. Let me throw a motherfucking wrench. What if it's your kid? Because I'm. What if it's your kid? Do you still feel that way? If you gotta forgive
Yes. No,
your
yes.
child,
I mean, I think yes, and it yes, I do feel that way, but I think it also depends on the age.
Wait. You say you wouldn't, if you have to forgive your child, you don't even want to be in a room with them? What does that?
You don't
Is,
want them in your life?
It's my responsibility to teach them lessons and help them do these things. So in order to forgive them, I have to be able to forgive them to help teach them. It's my job. I have a duty to serve them. You know what I'm saying? I think at a certain age, the conversation might be a lot different, but it's still I still have a duty to them. You dig what
so
I'm
it's
saying?
not a blanket state. So they're the exception, basically.
I'd say so, yes. My children, outside of that, no. Anything outside of that.
Can you say what you said again the first time, Chief? If you have to forgive someone, you don't want to be in the same room with them?
No, so when I think about forgiveness, I'm just like, if I really have to forgive someone, that means they did me dirty. They did me foul. Maybe it been what's calculated, if you will, something to offend, to hurt, disappoint me, or whatever. And at that point, at my big age, like why do I need to forgive you? I can just move on without you. Even though the forgiveness is for me,
right.
But like if they seek that forgiveness, I believe it's with the intent to try to rebuild the relationship. And at that point, I feel like the damage is done.
See, where I stand is I don't give a damn if they're asking for forgiveness or not. Me forgiving somebody is solely on my terms.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned this a number of times. I forgave my mom for something she did to me, which I believe to be foul, but I just forgave her because it's like I started asking myself, it's like, how much is this shit costing me to hold on to it?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what is this? Like, how was this impacting my relationships? How is it like it's physically doing something to me? Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's another reason why I don't really hold grudges. anymore.
Yep.
This is, I am recently reformed. So let me just be very clear. I am recently reformed. Like,
I think that's a great point. Liberty Choice said, but for example, what if a spouse or family member steps over the line and says things that she shouldn't? She didn't steal, didn't deceive you. She said stuff that were really, really bad. Can you forgive her? I was thinking about this literally yesterday because a lot of the research and things I'm doing are surrounding how we manifest our own reality, about the frequencies that we create and how frequency in the universe really, really works. And I was thinking about the people who I've held grudges against, specifically the anger I've been carrying around about my parents. And I really reflected on it yesterday. And I thought about how much I was generating my own negative frequency by continuing to hold on to that anger and frustration. So as much as you want to be mad at whoever this person in your family is for doing something to you, by you carrying on and holding on to that and putting out a certain energy, even in your thought, you're putting it out into the world and you're manifesting a certain frequency around you. So things may not be improving simply because you're choosing to have a specific emotion towards somebody who violated you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're creating a certain amount of negative energy around you just by carrying that emotion. So like you're saying, Bill, like, at what cost? You know what I mean? Like, is it worth it to carry around that type of energy because they did you wrong? And maybe forgiveness is, I don't know, maybe it is what you need. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that is what you have to do in order
it's
to.
like, what do you have to lose?
Very true.
Like
we're
think about
just indoctrinated to hold on to that shit.
Yo, but I agree. But literally, what does it cost you to forgive? You know what I'm saying? Like, now, granted, it's varying degrees of things. Like, I'm not saying we should forgive everybody. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, how many things are we holding on to? And as a result, what is that holding us back from?
And while we think it's somebody else's fault, it's really on us at the end of the day, because we're the ones holding on to it. Like, we can blame them. It could be a genuine violation, but because you feel the way you feel still, and you're riding down the street by yourself in the car, you say something out loud towards that issue that's negative, you're putting that negative frequency out there. That's on you. That's on
How
you.
often, what's the word, Peter, you use a lot? How often do you perseverate over someone you have to forgive, though? Like, I'm really I think I'd be a lot of that, like, out of sight, out of mind type joint in many cases. You know what I'm saying? But when it pops up, I might feel some type of way in the moment, but then it's like, all right, F that person and keep it pushing. But like, I just can't, I don't move in a way. And again, don't get me wrong.
I got a monkey wrench I'm going to throw on here too, but go ahead.
I've fucked up a number of times, but I don't move in a way to where I really think I like harm people to the point. And if it's forgiveness, it's probably an absent-minded thing or an unaware thing, which maybe I said too much. I didn't say enough. I wasn't listening well enough. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like some intentional or some hurtful shit where
you didn't have ill will towards somebody.
No ill will. And I can't think of the last time I've moved in that fashion to where, like, damn, that was foul. I knew what I was doing and that was foul. And now I feel bad. And I want to be forgiven.
Yo, Mia made a good point. She said they done moved on and we still hurt.
Yup.
Like, that's true.
That's
AF.
me, my nigga. That is me. God,
so,
that's me.
So just to throw a monkey wrench, and I did not want to go down this path, but you said something. What?
No, they done moved on and we still hurt, because I'd be hella in my feelings.
And they be having the time of their lives, man.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. It's like, for all intents and purposes, we're the victims, right? We're the victims in these scenarios. And the perpetrator, they didn't even think about us, but potentially. And we over here stewing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, impacting other relationships that we have because of whatever this person did to us.
Yep.
And we didn't let it go. But what I'll say is, Chief, you said somebody does something to you, doesn't really, think about it. But what if you don't know?
What do you mean?
Like, what if subconsciously it is impacting you and you just don't know? Like, what if what they did is so hurtful that it actually completely changed you?
Mm-hmm.
And because you still hold on
Fair.
to it, it's
Fair.
allowing it to breathe and live in you.
Fair. No, that's fair. But there have been times where something like that has walked up on me and I'm like, oh shit. Like, but I mean, I don't know, it's not around the realm of forgiveness, but it's like you get conditioned to certain behaviors and then your responses kind of are catered to that behavior. So now when you're no longer attached to that person who exhibited those behaviors, the next person who kind of displays those has good intent with those, but you still respond how you did when you were dealing with the other stuff. And I've caught myself in the middle of that, and like it's been like almost eye-opening. And I'll give an example. Like I was in a real insecure situation. So whenever I was asked where I was going or what I was doing, in my head, what I heard was, "What bitch you going to fuck or who you going to see or whatever." And it's like, no, nigga, some people really just want to know where you're going, what you're doing today, what your plans are. But in my head, the first thing I heard was why. Like I'm like, what's the plan for today? Why you asking all these questions? Like why? You know what I'm saying? I'm defensive. Instant.
And now you looking guilty.
Right.
You ain't got no
That's
place to see
right.
nobody.
You know what I'm saying? But like I wasn't aware of that until somebody's like, yeah, I just, I want to know how you like what your plans are for today. Like I'm curious to know what you're gonna be doing. And it's like, damn nigga, everybody ain't out to get you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's
That's that
conditioning.
residual.
That's what you just said. It's conditioning. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh.
there's certain things that happen to us, man, that it will show up. Like consciously or subconsciously is going to show up. And I'm not saying that I had the foresight to understand this at this great depth in order for me to let some of these things go. I just knew the mental and physical toll it took on me. And I just couldn't afford to keep it. Like I just couldn't afford to keep it. Like I had so much other shit going on. I was like, yo, I don't have the capacity to hold this grudge against this person. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I won't give any names, but there's been shit that's been done to others far worse. I'm debating if I should even tell this story. I'm gonna tell it. So it's gonna be very vague. I was with somebody one day. We in the car chilling. And he was like, "Oh, my man over there." And he was like, "Yo, come here." And the dude was kind of hesitant. Like, it's kind of hesitant, but not like obvious, but you could tell something was up. But he ended up coming over. And then the person I was with, he's like, what's good, man? He's like, man, don't worry about that, man. That ain't about none. I'm not paying. I don't know what's happening, right? They're just having a conversation, and dude, they having a conversation, and then he leaves. I'm like, what was up with him? Oh, he's no, that's my man. I ain't seen him in a long time. I'm like, okay. I was like, he was explaining himself to you. He's like, yeah, he owed me some money from back in the day. And he's like, and I shot him in his neck. And this is the first time I've seen him since then. I'm like,
God damn.
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it ain't about nothing. No, we cool. No, that's my man. I'm like, oh, and he's just cool with you. Like, you don't want to warn me? Like, in case, like, we in the car together, he wanted to get vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, nah, it ain't about nothing, man. He good. And I'm like, but that dude went up, talked to him, and everything was cool. And I remember a long time ago, my cousin, he was telling me, he was like, yo, he's like, Chris, who you be, when you be beefing right now, when I was real young, he's like, you gonna end up being friends with them. He's like, so it's not even worth it. He's like, it ain't worth it to hold these grudges against these people. He's like, he was like, man, you know how many people I shot at that I'm cool with now? And they shot at me and we just cool. Like, we just cool. It's like, so my point is time heals all wounds. Like, so some of the stuff that we holding on to, it don't make sense because there's somebody out there that's like, I don't care what I did to you. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga,
like,
you know what you just made me think about, bud? Oh shit, this is crazy. that story just made me think about my parents and how the last couple of years I had that anger and like disappointment towards them. My mom shot my dad when I was little and went to prison for a little bit, and my dad had to come to court and said whatever to get her out. I'm sitting here right now listening to that story, thinking about the fact that my mom shot my dad. He still got the bullet in him. I'm over here, well, I was because I released it. I've been over here for years feeling a type of way about both of them while they kissing and hugging on each other now and had that beef. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
back in
she
the day,
shot
this
him.
nigga been shot. This
Yeah.
nigga been shot and goes on trips with her and shit. And here I am, the byproduct, feeling a certain way, holding on to this grudge while they done clearly moved past being shot. You know what I'm saying? That's wild. I just had to say that out loud.
But
It puts it in a
that's
different perspective for me. Like
it does,
what are you
man.
doing?
Is it's an anchor, bro. It's an anchor, man. Like
That's
it is an
wild.
anchor. Because they moved on with their life. It's bliss, like and from where they sit, you know what I mean? And also, bro, another thing that we don't consider, and not that we should or we shouldn't, but I didn't know that about your dad. Your dad's been through some traumatic shit.
Very.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Very.
some traumatic shit, which
Mhm.
I would argue is the reason why he responds to things sometimes the way he does, based on
Great
his
point.
you know what I'm saying?
I
And
never thought about that.
we don't think about it, right, because it's about us. Like, nah, you did me wrong.
Mhm.
But we don't, but that's where I had to go. I had to start thinking about shit. I'm like, yo, man, they don't know no better.
Mhm.
Like, they don't know no better. And whether that's true or not, like, yo, Sarai, stupid. Whether they know or not, like, I know it's like, yo, they don't know no better. Like, it is what it is, man. But it's funny because there's so many stories I got about people being shot, like, and shooting other people and them being like really close friends. Like, when I say so many, bro, I have at least 5 intimate relationships that I have that they and the people who were victims are now friends with the people like your dad and your mom. Like it's so many
That's
stories like that.
wild.
But
I never thought of it that way, bud, until you shared that story, man.
Yeah, but there's another side to that though. Do you think that they had the conversation of forgiveness, or did enough time pass to where when they saw each other again, like, hey, come here? You know what I'm saying?
I've seen their relationship growing up. You know what I mean? So there's been interactions. There's been
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like there's an apology needed somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? From either what made me shoot you or from me shooting you.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't either.
I do not agree
because obviously whatever the fuck happened got them to a point to where they're amicable. You know what I'm saying? They're beyond.
I do not agree.
And he deserved that shit. Like that's another thing too. Like he feels that way. Like
but no, that's the thing.
Feels that way. Like
that's
he don't
the
hold
thing.
the grudge because that nigga know he was out of pocket.
Yo, everybody I know who got shot by somebody cool with now, he's like, yo, I was wilding. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody I know, it's like, like it was all like I had it coming.
Door and get to me when I was little, and she told him to leave. She told him she had the strap. She said, "Don't kick down the door. If you kick down the door, I'm shooting you." That
you're gonna walk over, but you're gonna limp back. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I don't necessarily. Damn, that's a wild concept though, because now I feel kind of like I'm valid for my feelings, but I feel kind of stupid thinking about it that way. Like these niggas, like
it pales in comparison. It pales in comparison. Yeah,
you
it pales in
comparison.
comparison.
And I'm over here, and these motherfuckers is getting along.
So Chief, it because you brought it up a couple of times on this call. It sounds like an apology could be the catalyst for you to forgive, but not until.
No. The apology is the start of the conversation about forgiveness.
See, it's not for me though, because this is what I'm saying. Like,
so what are the parameters then?
I mean, I don't know, because
I don't forgive.
No, I don't. I just don't. I don't put myself in situations to have people around me who are gonna do some wild shit that I need to forgive them.
Bro, yeah, I know.
So wild?
Bro,
Huh?
I know several people who you haven't forgiven, and they aren't part of your life, and you hold on to it. And I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. What I'm saying is, it's not predicated on who you have around you. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
So those people, like we talked about the things you don't know what you don't know. I don't know if any of them people who I've exiled in that situation has imparted my life in a way where it shapes how I move now.
It does.
I'd have to look into it because I can't think of.
Bro,
Give me-
you said on the podcast that you didn't know you had daddy issues until you got on the podcast.
So
I knew I had them. I wasn't aware how deep rooted they were.
So then that's one case. That's case in point, though.
Right, but again, so it's my father. Like anybody, who else we talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
There's one other person, but we don't have to get into it.
yeah, okay, we can talk offline or whatever.
so
But
you haven't.
I mean, it's an
you haven't
obvious
had no-
person that you haven't forgiven.
You haven't had no situation with somebody that you fuck with in a close circle did something that required forgiveness for you, and you just and so you just cut off niggas like.
I probably
Yes.
have
Yes.
forgiven them. But again, I'm not searching to rebuild the relationship. So it's
Okay,
like, yeah,
I'm like that too. I know last year, you know, that situation last year where I felt like a nigga violated me and I still had to interact with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I forgave for the behavior, but the relationship will never be the same. But I forgave. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna hold that shit against you,
Yeah.
but the relationship ain't. We not.
I think
like
we
that.
all. I think three of us are like in varying, at different levels of where we stand with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person where I'm not saying I'm not going to be impacted. I'm not going to hold on to it for a bit, but I will eventually let it go, and I'll let it go without your consent.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
do
I don't.
you
like, you don't
desire
really
to,
check in
like,
with
are you
this
gonna
person.
still be chummy? Does that not change the relationship? Can you forgive and take us and get it? If you were solid 100% and what happened, you took you down to 50%. Now you back at 80, at 99.
It will again, depending on what the circumstances are, right? But if it's something that I can parse out, meaning I can still maintain this relationship with the exception of that piece. If that's possible, then that's what I'll do.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Or it may be a situation where there's no need for us to talk again, but I still forgive you.
Mhm.
Or
That's fair.
or maybe a better way to say it, Chief, that maybe it'd be easier for you to potentially do. Take the forgiving out. I don't hold the grudge anymore. Like that situation no longer
Okay.
negatively impacts me emotionally.
Mm.
That's
So,
probably that's a better way to do it. Say it.
no, I'm just thinking because there definitely is an extreme between forgiveness and holding grudges. For
There
sure.
is.
For sure.
Maybe for me, if I let it go, I let it go.
Yeah, no.
And I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm just saying that's kind of how I approach it.
I had a situation 2 weeks ago. I had to perform for one of my mentors. Shout out to Hadari Davis at this event in downtown Oakland with a bunch of artists from Oakland. And I ran into this brother I've known for years. And during the time when I was getting ready to exit my last relationship, I was signing up to work for their program. It was a program for Black men and Black boys specifically. And during the orientation, I was going back and forth with my ex, and it got so bad that they noticed it during the orientation, had a conversation with me like, yo, are you cool? And I remember it being so bad that I finished the orientation and they didn't hire me for the job after I invested like $1,000 in all the classes. And I felt so violated. And I felt violated because one, it was a men's organization and they didn't have enough hood for me to kind of like, and the way they did it was weak. The way they did it was like on some cowardly shit. The way they didn't give me the job. And I saw the brother 2 weeks ago at the event. And when I saw him, I didn't have the same disdain as I did all of these years for the last 6 years. And he talked to me about his new venture. I smiled at him and I realized that I didn't have the grudge anymore. And I think it was the fact that I hadn't seen him in order to confirm or deny if I still felt the same. You know what I mean? But I know I ain't fucking with him no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't have a grudge. I thought I did up until I seen him. But I still ain't fucking with him though. So I think it's possible to like release the grudge but know where your boundaries are as a result of what
That's
happened.
good, cuz. Yeah, that's so you dropped the grudge. Is it fair to say you dropped the grudge and you forgave him?
No. I dropped the grudge. I didn't forgive him because I felt like it was hypocritical to the whole message of what I was getting involved in and what he was promoting and what he was selling.
So
He was selling brotherhood.
Can we say that though? Can we say I dropped the grudge, but I haven't forgiven him? If you dropped the grudge, is it fair to say you forgave him?
Yeah, because if I didn't drop the grudge, it would have been a different type of energy.
But I'm saying, if you drop the grudge, is it fair to say he's forgiven?
So what are you holding on to at this point?
I'm not holding on to anything. I just don't. It's just what you showed me is not anything that I would choose to rock with at this point. You know what I mean? Like the whole. I see you. I gave him a hug. Everything. You know what I mean? So I guess you can say there was forgiveness there. It's just as a result, I don't want to go down that road with you. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, yo, why are we? Why do we struggle? Like we just defined forgiveness, but we struggle with saying I forgive somebody. Like, did you peep that? We literally just defined it. But I'm not saying I forgive them. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't hold a grudge no more. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but that's what I mean. Like, dude, it's a lot of pride. Somebody has said it early in the chats, man. It's a lot of pride in us as Black men to not let somebody get over on us.
Yeah. So is our definition of forgiveness fucked up then? Is that what this kind of means? I'm trying to think about like, yeah, I just said like it don't mean I forgive him, but did I? And is my definition off?
Yeah, because it sounds like you did. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's valid.
I don't think about him now and even feel the same way I did before I seen him 2 weeks ago. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't. But
yo, that just kind of hit me real quick because like, what does forgiveness look like to you? Like, what does forgiveness look like? Because to me,
is it a look or a feeling?
What does it look and feel like for you? Like, how does in your world when you say I forgave him, does that mean like I would assume forgiveness means everything is copacetic? We're back to the way we were.
No, we're not gonna be potentially.
I don't hold that same energy for you today.
Right. That's what it is for me too.
I don't hold the same. Like I think about my mom and my dad now. I forgive them. Like real shit, I do because I don't hold the same energy as I did.
That's big because you weren't trying to hear that shit about a month and a half ago, give or take.
Probably so. Yeah.
We have it documented on the recording. Like it's not probably
because I don't have the same feeling. I don't have the same feeling when they pop into my head. I don't have those same feelings. So
no, that's a beautiful thing.
Feeling, not a look, because again, I'm not trying to go back down a certain road. Like I don't need to rekindle or reestablish. I don't have the same feelings. You know what I mean?
So forgiveness feels to me when that person is no longer controlling my emotions, or that
influencing them.
Yeah, and influencing. Yes, I say control because if a person can make me mad, they're in control. If I rethink something and it still pisses me off, they're in control. And I think that's the other thing that I allow myself to release, because I'm like, yo, no matter how you spin it, no matter what word game you play with yourself, if you think about a person and it physically makes you mad, they're controlling your emotions.
Yeah, I got work to do then, because like when you think about that, bro, like I'm thinking like, okay, somebody did something, it bothered me and it pissed me off, and my response is mull over it. All right, fuck it, I'm over it now. In my mind, I'm over it, but I don't know if that means I forgave this person. I'm just not thinking about it no more.
The way you know if you did or if you didn't is if you see them again and they make you feel away.
So it is a feeling.
Yeah, no, that's petty. That's petty too, though.
No, it's not. It's petty to hold it.
It's reaffirmation.
Wait, hear me again. It's petty to hold it. That's petty.
Yeah, I kind of gotta see the next time I stumble across somebody like that. The one person I can think of right now, it's just I've assessed the pattern, And it's like the pattern ain't gonna change.
I'll give you a perfect example of how far I've come. There's somebody who, in my opinion, doesn't like any of us for no reason. It's a prominent figure where we grew up. If I seen him, I will shake his hand. Somebody that's pulled up on you before. That's where I'm at right now, bro. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, if I seen him, I'll be like, what up, man? Because there's been times where we've been face to face, him with somebody else, me with somebody else, and he spoke to the other person, didn't speak to me. I spoke to the other person, didn't speak to him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
yeah, but just knowing your character, you wouldn't go out of your way to say what's up right now. You would.
If we're in the same room, I promise you, I'm speaking to him. Promise.
Is that as a result? I got a question. Is that as a result of where your life has gone?
I think so. Because
it just made me think like sometimes forgiveness comes from like an indirect space. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like you look around and see how you living. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck I'm tripping off that for?
It ain't about where I'm living or how I'm living. You know what it is, Prentice? It's who I want to be.
Mm-hmm. That desired self.
That's fair.
Like, it's who I want to be. I understand that in order for me to get something I've never gotten before, I have to become someone I've never been before.
At the desired self, yes, you have to operate in the manner of who it is that you're trying to be. And if that person doesn't hold grudges like that, then you have to start doing that now. I think the problem is a lot of us wait for like future fucking moments that aren't going to come. Like it's always
this an inside job, bro. Yep. It's an inside job.
It's always a choice you make yourself.
And my thing is this: it's like this is why I'm going to do it, because I normally wouldn't do it, but I also don't know how that decision not to speak to this person. Because let's be very clear, we don't have an identifiable beef. Like, he doesn't like me for something that whatever reason I don't know, and I don't like him because he doesn't like me. So there's nothing happened, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he did something to me or something like that. So he don't fuck with you either. You know, like, you don't want to fight, right? So
fuck me will fuck you too.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. But my point is, if I respond to that situation like that, how is that piece of my character showing up in other parts of my life?
Butterfly effect.
Unbeknownst to me. So I'm like, well,
to me,
like if I just change that I'm in control of, what will be the ripple effect? What will be the butterfly effect, right? Like what happens there? What does that then transcend?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Like, because I know if I stuck my hand out and said what's up to him, he'll speak to me. Like,
if he didn't, what are you doing? If it's the same energy, are you cool?
I'm cool, man. Because I let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about me no more. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not speaking to me, that's something that you got to deal with, bro. Because I've come to you the right way, extending my hand. Like, everybody he fucks with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's a character thing with me. It's something that he had to deal with that he doesn't like me for. And as a result, I don't like him. But now I'm like, I don't have the space to not.
I don't like you because of me. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
It's funny because I thought he didn't like you because of me. Like, well, that's the one.
Here we go. So,
yeah.
So there we are.
Well, you gave him more reason. So anyway,
that's not true. Actually, I didn't.
I don't know that I ever gave him a reason. Like,
anywho, we running up on an hour and a half, fellas. I thought this was good. We got a couple good chuckles and it was kind of light. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was cool, man.
Shout out to the chat, man.
Yeah,
shout out to the chat booming and going. Yeah, man. So today was another one too. We had I'll share afterwards. We had pretty decent numbers.
Can I before you speak, let me just take a moment to thank everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Sarai in the living room. Shout out to Willie Curry. Shout out to my
That's my cousin. That's my cousin Pumpkin.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out.
Hey Marcus, what's up, baby?
Shout out to Liberty Twitch. Shout out to who else we had in here? Pain into I don't see the whole thing. The whole name. Jay in the Bay. There was a lot of people
pain into purpose. Pain into purpose.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out
We
to
really
them.
appreciate y'all chiming in, man.
Yeah.
It gives us direction that we wouldn't necessarily have come up with ourselves, man. So yeah, this
Word.
was good.
Larry Frank and Lorenz and all that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all too.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. We appreciate that. That was dope.
Yeah, hopefully we
Nah,
can see
word.
some of y'all at the show this weekend too.
Yeah, slide through.
Ooh, Kendra Connect said when you hold grudges, your hands aren't free to catch blessings, and that's that God is sending to you.
Yeesh.
Hey, that boy gonna drop some bars now. And one thing my baby
Word.
can do is drop some bars. I can't even see no more comments. That's weird.
That's it because it's on Instagram.
Oh, you do multitasking over there. Okay. I see. No, shout out to Kendra Connect. Me and that brother, man. I love having conversations with my guy, man. We just be talking for 45 minutes to an
Word.
hour just about building. So shout
Hey,
out to Kendra Connect.
Shout out to Self Love First. Say the first timer. I enjoyed it. Thanks. Well, come on back and bring your people with you. You heard?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, yo, P, tap in with your final thought, B.
I still have work to do with grudges, and as much as I think it builds some type of false sense of character, I don't think it does, man. You know what I mean? Like it ain't doing nothing for me, man. And it's really a lot of energy and time spent on motherfuckers that I ain't never even gonna see again. I was thinking about that too. Like the people I got grudges with, I don't anticipate seeing these motherfuckers no more. None of them, literally. So I need to let some more shit go. That's my final thought.
Word. I'm gonna jump in. Go ahead, Bell. I think
Said I'm gonna jump in. Go ahead, Bell.
I'm gonna jump in. I don't know. I think I got some maturing to do, man, because I'm really like, I don't want to say anti-forgiveness because I'll forgive people, but my forgiveness comes with a strained relationship. And I don't know if that's healthy.
It's contingent.
Yeah, like I don't anybody who requires forgiveness from me for something that's like, I don't know. I just don't think I want people in my world who have to ask for forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? My kids are gonna make mistakes.
Yeah, bro, but that's
fair, bro.
that's very high and mighty of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, again, you've
asked for forgiveness.
True. Again, okay. Let me malice intent type stuff.
Yeah, I can think of one incident specifically that I don't give a fuck what you say. There was malice behind it, and you're not gonna guess the incident. We could talk about it offline, but I'll just say this: it happened, not in the continental United States. There was malice behind that. Yeah.
Anywho, I got to do some more work as it pertains to this forgiveness. I think I need to identify and define what it means for me. That's my final thought. Bell.
My final thought gonna be quick, man. It's LIG it, Reggie. Let it go.
Let it go.
Like, that's all I got, man. Like, I don't know, man. In my opinion, like I always talk about my dad. I be telling him, like, yo, you got my mom. It's funny because my mom used to be the same way, but now she working more, so she don't. But I always say, people who like fester on things just to fester on them, they got too much time on their hands. You got too much time on your hands. Like, you need to be doing something more productive with that time. Like, if you're just going to be sitting back thinking about how many people did you wrong and all these things, like, yo, those are the three things that hold people back: superstition, education, and what's the last one? What? No, not finances. No, it's not finances. It's like hold you back personally. Superstition, religion, or not religion. Excuse me. Superstitions, education, and poverty. So yeah, poverty. It is finances. Yeah, poverty. Like, if you just sitting around like, damn, they did me dirty, and you saying you have to do me like that. Listen, man. Like my man, Rico said, pull your skirt down, B. like, yo, let's go get to it, man. Get to it. Nobody cares.
Mhm.
That's the reality. Nobody cares.
Mm.
So they did that to you. They don't care.
Mhm.
So why do you?
I
Like
feel like
go,
this nigga's talking to me, but
go figure it out. Like go figure out what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. Don't
mhm.
stick around. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the past, man. Like that shit'll hold you back every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Big facts.
So that's my final thought.
Hey, y'all. This has been another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. We have our first live production on Saturday. We need y'all to show up and show out. It is important so we can keep this train rolling for y'all and keep bringing y'all positive, good vibes and good events. And it's a different type of date night too, y'all. It ain't the typical club scene. You know what I'm saying? We had a country club. You dig? So come hang out and enjoy some good food, some good conversation, and let's go from there. It is Saturday, August 24th. We have a live taping at 4 p.m. From 4 to 6. We'll have a live taping and a Q&A. And then we're gonna have a mix and mingle time between 6 and 8. And at 8 o'clock, we're gonna start our live poetry performance. We got a star-studded event. It's gonna be dope. Come get clean and come hang out with us, man. All ticket information can be found at www.abmnt.com. That's All Black Men Need Therapy as an acronym. Go check it out. We are on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. Hit us up individually, Chief, Prentice, or Bell at ABMNT if you want to talk to us. We have a voice line, 860-410-6160. Shout out to people who reached out today. My man left us a nice long paragraph too. When y'all got to check in with that. 860.
I was shopping with him today.
Okay, 860-410-6160. Per usual, y'all, thank y'all for tapping in. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Do us all a favor and hug a black man today.
With 2 arms. Do it.
And tomorrow.
Or it could be like the sidearm hug. That's cool too. But do it.
We out, y'all.
Peace.